Hello and welcome to the February edition of Turf Moor. Here's what's coming up in this month's show. We take a look at Burnley FC in the community's new leisure box facility. Darren Bentley catches up with informed striker Chris Wood, and Scott Cunliffe gives us the rundown on his Runaway challenge. Burnley FC's community department continues to go from strength to strength. We caught up with CEO Neil Hart to take a look at their new leisure box facility, their biggest project yet.
Welcome to the Leisure Box, Burnley Football Club in the community's latest addition to their portfolio of facilities. Behind me is a multifunctional centre, recreational and sporting for the whole community. Let's go inside and speak to the Chief Executive, Neil Hart. Neil, this is hugely impressive. Tell us about this building and how it came to be.
So the Leisure Box is part of a regeneration of the North Lights site. We've been working on this for about 4 years now. So lots of partners involved from Pearl, Pendle Borough Council, Barnfield, our funders, the Premier League, Sport England, the Football Foundation, Lancashire LEP, the Sutton Family Pendle Trust. So lots of partners involved, and we really wanted to create and offer state-of-the-art centre for our local community for them to engage in sport, physical activity, educational activities, and really raise aspirations, which is what Burnley FC in the community is all about.
And you look at this place, I mean, first impressions, it's a huge building.
Yeah, it's taken a lot of work, and I have to say Barnfield Construction have done a fabulous job, as they always do on our projects. So an indoor 3G's gone in here, climbing, sports hall, cricket lanes, a children's soft play centre, cafe facilities, dance studio, ancillary facilities for staff. So, a real comprehensive offer for the local community.
Have you been looking at something along these lines, or did the opportunity present itself because of the building? How did that develop?
I think a bit of both. I think we've always had that facilities inkling in our strategy around can we support with facility development. Clearly there are facilities in the local community that need regeneration. Clearly there needs to be a different approach regarding community and sporting facilities in the region. And this opportunity presented itself. The local council and the investors approached us, and it just to me seemed like a fantastic opportunity for Burnley FC to get involved and really take the lead and develop what we've done here, which is, I think, something fabulous.
Neil, I'm looking back here, this is quite frightening for me, but I'm imagining this will be very popular. Tell us about this place.
Yeah, so we wanted to include a climbing offer, so we've worked with a local provider, Clip and Climb, who are actually based up in Kelbrook in Pendle, who've been fantastic to work with. We've got 18 climbing lines there, so a myriad of climbing lines. Aged 4-year-olds and up can do this, so it's really an accessible open offer. You don't need any training, you can get on it with our staff and have a go up and down. We've got a mega slide, we've got the giant leap, the leap of faith, so you climb up that and jump off the end and try and hit the punch bag.
All harnessed, let me just say that. Yeah.
All harnessed, all very safe. So really attractive offer for the local community, and something which is a bit different as well. And I'm sure when you look at that and young people and children come through the door, they will look at it and go, wow, that is unbelievable, and I want to have a go at that.
I think that will probably be the most popular thing I've seen.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So a really important part of the centre, something myself and all the partners wanted to incorporate into the centre from the outset. It was a really big driver for us, this, and we're delighted with what Clip and Climb have done, and it looks fabulous.
Behind us we have some cricket nets, I think. There's a netball court behind us, and we'll go and look at the 3G in a second. So a very sporty feel to this level. Yeah,
absolutely. So the cricket is a really important one. So that came out of consultation with the local community. We've got a high BME population in the local community in Briarfield and Nelson. So to put 2 full-size, full-length cricket lanes in here is fantastic for them, and we'll have actually a free cricket offer for the local community to come here and play cricket and take part in physical activity. And then just the other side of there, we've got a 4-court badminton sports hall, so that's lined for volleyball, badminton, short tennis, netball, so a really sporty offer on this floor.
Now, people who know Barnfield will have seen the 4G that's been installed up there as part of the training centre, but this is a pretty new offering in there as far as I can remember, Neil. This is fantastic, this.
Yeah, again, we wanted to incorporate an indoor 4G pitch. If Barnfield could have it, then the local community can have it. That was very much our motto. So we've got a small-sided indoor 4G pitch, be used for local community activity. We'll have lots of clubs involved as well. So I think the only indoor 4G pitch in Burnley and Pendle, apart from the one at the training ground, first team training ground. So yeah, a really important offer for us, and again, we think it looks unbelievable and a really attractive offer for the local community.
And this is the first thing you see almost when you walk through the door up here. You've got a mezzanine floor up here. You look down on this, it makes an impression straight away.
Absolutely. Well, you get that wow factor, and I can see children, young people and participants coming through and going, wow, I want to play football on that pitch. And we will deliver lots of our programmes out of here, from our disability programmes to our kicks programmes to our Premier League girls programmes to Burnley FC women's sessions. So a whole range of holistic community offer will be delivered from this pitch. And again, if the first team players down at Barfield could have it, then the local community could have it, and they've got it here. You know, a fantastic facility.
Now this is all one floor. There's more to see, isn't there, on another level?
Yeah. So just on the lower ground floor, we've got a children's soft play centre and a cafe and a dance studio as well. So that's more of a wider, holistic community offer for younger children and parents. So we can go down there and have a look at that.
So we've got the sporty people upstairs all catered for. Down here, this is all about the kids and the parents, Neil, and this looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we wanted to include a kids play option for parents to come and young children to come up to sort of 11, 12 years old. So we've had SBI Play work with us and develop a really impressive play structure here. And we've got a toddlers play area just here. And then throughout the facility, we'll have tables and chairs. We'll have a nice cafe. So we've got kitchen in store going in this week. We've got 3 party rooms to provide kids parties. So a real holistic offer for children to come and play. Parents can sit on a comfortable sofa, have a good quality cup of coffee, a healthy bite to eat, and watch their kids play in peace, hopefully.
Within one building here, you seem to have encapsulated most things that you would need within the community. What's the timescales on this?
We're looking to open at the end of this month. We've got a few things to work through at the moment. Anybody that's built a building like this and worked in facilities and construction is aware sometimes they take time and sometimes there's issues and challenges you face, and I think we're over most of them now, but I think certainly the end of February is when we're aiming to open, and we'll communicate that data across all club and community platforms in due course.
And you've done many a thing in your time at Burnley. I'm guessing cost-wise and size-wise, this must be one of the biggest ventures you've had.
I think in my career, actually, I think you know, Burnley FC in the community has been going 5 years now, and I think this is certainly the largest from a cost point of view and a scale point of view programme we've been involved in. And I must say we've only been able to do it with the partners and the funders behind us. It's been a real partnership approach on this project, and I think a best practice when it comes to partnership working, because you don't achieve this without working with a really sound, competent contractor, developers and consultants, with good funders behind you and a really strong board of trustees as well from a Burnley FC and the community point of view to actually work with me and develop this scheme. So we're really pleased with it, and we're just looking forward to getting towards opening.
The Leisure Box in Briarfield will be opening soon, as Neil says. Do check this out, guys, it's going to be quite spectacular.
Penalties have been a huge talking point recently, with the Clarets finally awarded their first in 68 Premier League games. We take a look at the stats behind some of our most successful penalty takers.
Barnes against Manone and scores! Barnes against Lewis to seal it, he has! Keeper went the right way! And he scores! It's 3-0! Come on, Sam Vokes. Vokes against Love again and scores!
So, Robbie Blake for Burnley for 1-1. It is 1-1.
Chance for Burnley to get level here. And Blake scored, no doubt about it.
This penalty to be taken by
Payton!
Yes! And he steps up, smites it into the corner.
Can Burnley level things up here? Graham Alexander against Lee and scores. Never in any doubt.
Chris Wood has been in great form since Christmas, with 6 goals in his last 9 games. The Claret striker sat down with Darren Bentley to discuss what's been a happy new year.
So Chris, great to catch up with you. Fresh from a little break in Portugal. How did that go?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to get away, get a bit of sun. He obviously works very hard out there. He never gives us a bit of time off, but we worked hard, but it was good.
It's come at a good time, I think. You know, you can take stock of the 7-game unbeaten run, look to build, because there's some tough games between now and the end of the season.
Exactly, there is, and they come thick and fast, especially with the next week coming up. It was a nice time to just relax when we could, have a bit of downtime, and a bit of a warmer climate as well, and just get everybody refreshed, ready to go again.
The partnership between you and Ashley Barnes seems to be flourishing. I know you two have both done a little bit for Sky today ahead of the game against Spurs this weekend. It seems to be a partnership that's growing stronger with each week.
Look, yeah, and hopefully it continues to do that for this season, next season and the years to come. It would be lovely. But yeah, I think it's just taken on from what we did last year. We started to play well at this time of the year together, and we've linked up again this year, and it seems to work well, and hopefully that may continue. And
from your own point of view, probably one of the richest veins of form since you joined us. You had that 5 in 5 round about the same time, maybe a little bit later last year, but 5 in 7 represents great return for you.
Yeah, it does. It's always nice to be scoring goals, but winning games is the main thing, and we're doing that in abundance at the moment. So as long as they both continue, it's a happy life and a happy team.
Might it have been a first hat-trick for Burnley? Because when you're watching that game at Brighton, we're seen to be cruising at 2-0 and we get a penalty, we're thinking, aye, there's Woody on the hat-trick now, but it never materialised.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. We have a bit of an unwritten rule and well, for Burnley and for our strikers, that if you win it, you take it. It's the striker's job to take penalties. And when he went down and he got the ball, I asked him for it, and he said no, I won it. And I said, oh, that's fair enough, because that's what we do. That's our written rule, and if you win it, you should take it. It's just one of those things. It would have been nice to have it, but I don't begrudge anybody about that. I'm sure it'll come one day.
That sounds like a lot of friendly conversation, the one that was had at Fulham earlier this year when the guy took the penalty and missed it.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. It is a more difficult one if you don't have a designated taker and things like that. If someone else went down and there was a penalty and we both wanted to take it, how you decide is probably a bit of a rock, paper, scissors or something like that in the middle of the pitch. But no, we have a good relationship together, and all the strikers do, so whatever it comes to, we just speak between each other and we go from there.
Spurs on Saturday, huge game for us, and we're hearing that Harry Kane might be back in the Spurs squad, okay. But I guess at the minute, the bigger they are, the harder they fall for you guys. You've just made a mark with the Man United results and some of the other results you've got in recent weeks.
Look, yeah, I mean, we've worked very hard to get those results. Not going to lie about it, it's going to be a very tough game, and with or without Harry up front, it's going to be tough nonetheless. Everybody talked about them being weaker when he wasn't here, but they've still found ways to win games, and they've won a lot. So they're fighting for their own honours, and we're fighting for ours, and it's going to be tough, but we need to put in the work to hopefully get a positive result out of it.
And 3 or 4 games, I think, maybe 5 now to go till we get another international break and chance to take stock again. Be great to get another bundle of points on the board and make yourself in a really strong position going into that March break.
Look, yeah, it's exactly that way. We've been able to take stock and just relax for a bit, and now the hard work continues. As you say, some big games coming up. We just need to focus on continuing what we're doing at the moment, and hopefully the points will follow along with it.
What happens to you internationally in March? Because we're all keeping an eye on people like Tom Heaton might get back in England squad, and we've got so many internationals at the club now that it's hard to keep track sometimes, but when you go away, it almost seems like a 3-day jaunt to get home.
Yeah, normally, well, especially if I go back to New Zealand, there's a long way. But I've been quite lucky this year. There's been no internationals for me. Up until March, there's talk of going to Malaysia for a few games. So I might be heading out there, but it's yet to be confirmed, so I just got to wait and see if I get the call. It's
a tricky one for you, because everyone else is sort of embossed in the sort of qualifying for tournaments, but you've got this little lull now where you're just playing friendlies for about a year or so.
Yeah, I mean, it is different to most other international teams, but it's the way it's always been done in New Zealand. We only have one qualifying period as for the World Cup, so when it's the 2 years before that or the 2 years after that, there's no games, no competitive games per se. We still try and get strong opponents, like we've got Ireland in November and things like that. We still try and get the best teams, but it is difficult.
Towards the end of last year, we had a scenario where we had the Player of the Year awards night where the top goal scorer gets an award, and right up until the last weekend of the season, you and Ashley Barnes, we weren't sure who to engrave it with. Hopefully this year, it might be a similar scenario because you're both up there. You're on 9, I think Ashley's on 8. You're both competing again. But I guess the aim would be to beat your last season's total, would it?
Oh, it would be nice. It would be nice to get over that. And we're just taking it game by game. Hopefully we both get up there. I'm sure we'll both like to end the season on 10+ Premier League goals, which would be lovely. It's a lot of hard work from now to the end of the season to get that. But if we're fighting come the last day of the season and it's 1 in it and we're all over 10 and over 12, it'll be lovely.
And I'm missing that new dynamic finally. Obviously Sam's left the club and you've got that new dynamic of Peter Crouch now. Pete's settled in well? He's
settled in very well. He's just settled into the team. It's a very easy dressing room to walk into, and he's a character that's easy to walk into a dressing room. He's lively, he's bubbly, he's got a load of experience. It was always going to be hard filling Vokes's shoes. The man of stature he is and the presence he had in this dressing room. But no, Crouch has come in and done extremely well.
Well, we wish all three of you well for the end of the season, and not forgetting Matty as well, of course, who's in the mix. So plenty of goals between now and the end of the season, please.
I'm sure there will be.
The January transfer window saw Peter Crouch join the Clarets. His arrival caused quite a stir on social media as the club announced his signing with a nod to his famous robot celebration. Here we'll take a look at some of the memorable January signings.
Is Brady going to hit this? We wait and see. Referee's ready. Robbie Brady to hit it. Finish for Robbie Brady. Welcome to Turf Moor to Robbie Brady. What a free kick for the record signing. Threaded through nicely for Lennon. Can Lennon get a cross in here? He's on one towards the back post. Barnes! Yeah! Oh, what a goal! It's 4-4 for Ashley Barnes. What a finish, right-footed. No chance for Foster. Burnley have got a lead here, and what a volley that is. Goodmanson with the corner now. Burnley have got to fight back quickly here. Swung in. It's a dangerous one. Right one there to the boat. Yeah! It's level. And Tarkowski's got it. His first goal. First goal for Burnley. Burnley 1, Watford 1. Here's Trippier, hits it well, here he goes! Keeper confused, but Kieran Trippier with the opener. Burnley 1, Preston North End 0. Neil Court and Carlisle, both forward, it's fizzed in, and it's straight in! Dream debut for Danny Fox. Here's Blake for Burnley, chipped into the penalty area, Eagles is onside, the angle's tight, great save from the keeper, Akinbaye! Akinbaye has put the ball into the back of the net, and 6,000 Burnley fans jump for joy in the shed end. Welcome today, can he hook it inside, he's looking for Vokes, from the other, yeah! Lennon, it's 2-0! Oh, his first goal for Burnley! Oh, it's taken by Barton. And Barton. Yes! Oh, the goal. What a free kick from Joey Barton. Right into the corner. No chance for Button. It's half away, but as far as Eagles. Eagles trying to dink it back in. Might fall here for Gudjohnsen. Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Joey Gudjohnsen. Right foot, half volley, top corner.
Burnley fan Scott Cunliffe set off to run to all of Burnley's away fixtures at the start of the season, raising money for Burnley FC in the community. What an incredible job he's done so far, and we had the pleasure of catching up with Scott to see how he's stayed the pace.
Well, Scott, it's great to see you, and you're enjoying a mid-season break at the minute, which must be very welcome for you, I'd imagine.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's been a long season so far for us all on many different levels, but yeah, I got 2 weeks off, just brought the back of Brighton, came home with 3 points, so feeling really good, but looking forward to the next one and enjoying the rest in between for sure.
That's the madness as far as I'm concerned, that you're looking forward to it. Tell us a little bit about this whole concept, the inspiration behind it, where it came from.
Well, I can't not be inspired by Burnley and what Burnley Football Club have done as one. You know, I mean, just to get where we've done with the resources we've got and do it from you know, really from inside and digging deep to get through that. You know, not just the football, but you know, the supporters and the whole town gathering together. I think it's really inspiring. And yeah, I've been vocal about my mental health problems, and running has been a thing for me that's really assisted me, and so is travelling. So I wanted to put that together and do something epic to raise money for charities. I've worked for charities most of my life, so I wanted to put something together, and the World Cup was pretty inspiring as well, because I think at a time when there's Brexit and there's a lot of negativity, I think the World Cup really showed that football can, well, it unites people more than it does divide people, and that's kind of when I thought, well, go for it, because you know, it's a good time. There is a good vibe. Burnley's going into Europe. And yeah, let's go for it. But I didn't really know what I'd signed up for. So here we are, first leg. Just left Turf Moor with the mayor of Burnley. Say hello, Charlie.
Hello.
Are you all right?
To the normal man in the street, it sounds like such a task. I mean, we hear people doing subjective marathons one day after another, but to run to every away game, what base level did you start at? I mean, were you a marathon runner? How did it work?
Yeah, I think I'm 10 years old in running age, and over that 10 years I started off by just, you know, running to the golf post and back, and just doing short distances, and I was drinking, I was smoking, I was like sort of, yeah, living a mid-30s kind of lifestyle, you know, sort of going out, I had a bit of money and, you know, to spend on recreation, and I just had a good life really, but I wasn't fulfilled by it. So going out running really helped me. But I really wanted to just do something that was, you know, that was sort of epic really. And
it's certainly that.
Yeah, it was. But running wise, I got into doing a bit longer distance running, but I enjoyed doing adventure running, which was basically a concept of really just going out, picking a route and going running it on your own, and sort of being outside for me is escapism, and being in natural sort of environment is just really healing for me. So I just thought, yeah, let's forget the races for a while. I think I've run 10 marathons now and about 5 ultra marathons before I started this, but I'd never run back-to-back days doing a marathon every day, or a bit more than a marathon every day. So I never really knew how my body or my mind would react to doing that. But once it's nailed up there, you've no turning back, have you?
Looking from the outside inwards, it would seem like maybe one of the worst things you could do from a mental health side is to run solo outside your comfort zone on your own much of the time.
Yeah.
Or do you find that the opposite? Is that the release?
That is the release, it's the escape. I mean, being on my own, but the irony here is really, even though I've got a lot of time on my own, because I'm doing most of these runs unsupported, in the sense that I don't have a support vehicle, a few of the runs I have, but most of them, like Brighton, it was like pretty much 10 days on my own. I had a few people running with me. But because for safety I'm carrying my mobile phone, and then for media-wise and keeping in touch with people, I've got my mobile phone. I'm not really on my own. You know, it's a bit different thinking, right, I'm going to run up the moors today and kind of spend 3 or 4 hours and just take a sort of, you know, water bottle and a quarter midget gems or whatever you take with you. It's this is completely different, so I'm not really on my own. Here we go, Wembley Way, Runaway number 10 in the bag. Burnley to London in 7 days. We're at the Emirates, up the Clarets.
Clubs seem to have embraced it really well as well. Wherever your clubs you've been to, I know you've been out on the pitch, you've been welcomed by a staff of the opposing clubs. Yeah. It's been a real community, hasn't it, that's come together?
For sure, yeah. I mean, Brighton the other day, they were there. They made me a Brighton shirt with Burnley to Brighton on the back, and phenomenal really. But I think that, yeah, again, it underlines that the breadth of the football community, and how people sort of come together over common causes. You know, we've had a few of those this year with Salah dying and Gordon Banks just in the last few days, and the incident at Leicester earlier on in the year. And the football community comes together really well. But to see that from a bit more of an inside point of view, you know, seeing how it goes on sort of pre-match, sort of underneath the stadium and things, and yeah, it's really interesting, but really good to see that, you know, there's a massive positivity to football and the Premier League.
Your enthusiasm for it shines through, but I guess throughout it all there must be dark times, there must be down days. How do you cope with those?
Partly it's usually like 3 or 4 days after, because it's like going on that big 10-day jaunt, and then you get back, and then you kind of adrenaline's pumping, then it just drops.
The normality of life.
Normality of life, and you just really, I mean, people who've run marathons sometimes, they get the marathon blues a couple of days after, and it's like, what do you do next? What do you do next? And you've really got to just sort of forget about the last one and focus on the next one.
So our starting point today is Palace Hotel in Buxton. Clear blue sky, no snow overnight, but still plenty of snow on the ground.
The task itself has sort of grown momentum and grown in media coverage as you've gone along. I suppose that peaked when you had those 2 December weeks when you had to go all the way to Tottenham, come back and go all the way to Arsenal again, pretty much straight away.
Talk about a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
I mean, it was from a media perspective,
as well.
Media perspective before Christmas. I mean, it brought a big spotlight, and it was like he's got to run to London twice in 14 days, but from a media perspective, it was a great spectacle. But I was like, oh dear, you know, but what can you do? The Premier League make the fixtures. Luckily, there's only been 2 back-to-backs. I mean, we're getting into the Champions League era period now, so there might be a couple of cancelled games. You don't know, so we might end up with another one. But with only 5 to go, I'm not too worried about that.
And the net result of this final, Scott, is it all about raising funds? How's that going so far? And are you near your target, exceeded your target?
Well, we raised the target to 25 grand just after Christmas. We're about 12 and a bit now, so we're halfway to that target. So I'm hoping that there'll be a push towards the back end, especially once I've finished it. If I do finish it, I'm feeling confident about that now. So yeah, I mean, it's great to raise money for the football community. So it's going out to the 20 Football League clubs, the charitable foundations, the 20 Premier League clubs. So yeah, hopefully there'll be a lot of love come the back end of the season, and when I do that final run to Everton, there'll be some nice kind donations coming from the football community and beyond.
We do hope so, Scott. Listen, it's been a pleasure meeting you. Good luck with the last 5. We had got a taxi waiting for you outside City Home. We figured we'd cancel it. We figured you'd rather run.
Up Bruncher Hill.
Yeah, we figured you'd rather run.
And if you'd like to support Scott, you can by visiting the runawaychallenge.org. And that's it for this month. Next up, for the Clarets, it's Tottenham at Turf Moor, and we'll leave you with bittersweet memories of our first crack at the Premier League.
One last time for Burnley in the Premier League.